Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Kiev Major here for round number 3. It is iG.Vitality versus Mousesports, and let me tell you, if you missed the first game of the series, it was a heck of a freaking battle, I guess you could call it. They slugged it out. They fought from pretty much minute 0 onwards with little to no downtime, and it was one of the best Pudge performances I've seen, at least a support Pudge performance I've seen in a very long time. So looking forward to seeing what Mousesports can do here in game number 2. iG.Vitality looking to rebound and get into game number 3 with a victory here. Of course, with that all said and out of the way, my name is Mont. With me is Trent Pax. Trent, I mean, you talked about it after that first game. You thought iG.Vitality would be held up to a higher standard. You believe that them getting into this third game wouldn't be that shocking.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I would be very surprised if there was a 2-0 from Mousesports. It would certainly be impressive from them, and I'm sure they'd be very happy to do so, but I don't think iG.Vitality are going to go down so easy without too much of a battle here. And a little bit of a different opener here. They're going to start out with a Vengeful Spirit. So this is something that they actually lost to up against Team Random twice after trying it themselves in their very first game of the tournament. They opened with the Tree first, and then with their second pick in the first round, they went for the Vengeful Spirit. Whereas in the next 2 games, Random took Venge and Venge. Once with Legion Commander, once with CM. So we'll have to see, depending on what's left. If iG.Vitality maybe the same ideas, and well, Mousesports will get that Keeper of the Light they're so famous for lately.
Yeah, they've
and
played
then the Skylark Legion.
They've played it 3 of the 5 games, I believe. Now, actually 3 of the 6 games now that they played the Pudge last game. But Warlock is going to come out as well, so Warlock, Vengeful Spirit. Pretty open in the draft thus far for iG.Vitality. Talking about the Venge in terms of how strong it was, we talked about this in the first draft. Venge currently up to about a 70% win rate. I don't know if that includes the most recent games. I don't think it does. Actually, I haven't checked it recently, so I can't even say. But still, very strong hero right now, Trent. And to combine it up with the Warlock, some good lockdown, some very good damage coming in from these 2 potential supports.
Yep, should certainly be an interesting one here. We'll find out where exactly our Keep of the Light is going for Mousesports. That's probably the biggest question right now. Just trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do with that, because again, they have this kind of
reserve time.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot recently. It works out. But more bans coming out. Mousesports knowing that iG.Vitality have played a lot of Shadow Fiend for Cicada, just in general. They will take that out of the pool. Meanwhile, the Thug Outworld Devourer banned, deservedly so, after the first game. Kind of a slow laning phase. He got that Midas up, but when they had the lockdown there, as you mentioned, and you talked about this in the draft too, you said that there was going to be like duels and dismembers to hold down some of these heroes, and he was able to just lay into them with the Arcane Orb, and he gets so much intelligence, and then he just owns the fight, and it's hard to deal with him. It's like Essence Shift as well for the Slark, so pretty good ban, I think, for iG.Vitality.
And another combo they want for themselves, I would say, for iG.Vitality is they got to start thinking about that AoE damage. So Ricky's actually pretty good for that to help with the Fatal Bonds. If you think about the way that his ultimate is going to stack on top of Fatal Bonds, you could actually output a ton of damage. And Vengeful Spirit doesn't really offer anything in terms of AoE. So that's probably the biggest thing they're lacking. The Earth Spirit is there, which again is a very classic dogfights hero. We might see them go towards that. Haven't had a chance to grab it the entire tournament. And it was banned out in the last draft, but it's still available now. So unless Mousesports plan on picking it up for themselves here, that would probably be my go-to. The only problem I could see is they might be worried about the fact that, you know, Legion Commander, you don't really do that much as Earth Spirit up against her. And she has that purge to help out the allies if they're silenced and she's not.
Yeah, not sure if they want to go for that. But, I mean, it's just such a strong dogfight here that I wouldn't.
Exactly. I would be, you know, I'm still banking on it being Earth Spirit for iG.Vitality, but I could maybe understand the hesitation. In terms of their cores for iG.Vitality, when you have this Vengeful Spirit, one problem she does suffer from is that she has no way to purge off the blind. She kind of she likes Manta, but she's not really into building it that early these days, not compared to someone like Juggernaut, for example, who also has the built-in spin to try and deal with that. And now that we have the Bane, too.
Man, that is, it's been picked once so far in this tournament, which kind of gives you an indication of it's not very popular.
Yeah,
and
well, it was Mousesports who did it too, and it was with that same combo as these first 3 heroes they opened with. So
they did win that game, by the way.
Yeah.
So it is, it's exciting to see. They have now good lockdown, Nightmare, Brain Sap, all the good utility that a Bane can provide. So again, more lockdown. It's a lot like the last game where they had the Legion Commander with the duel, and they had the Dismember from the Prodigy. Now they have Fiend's Grip. But there is the Centaur Warrunner to come out for our iG.Vitality with the July Centaur.
Yeah, and now both teams have 3 of the 5 heroes they used in their victories. So when they won against Wings, aka Team Random for iG.Vitality, it was these 3 heroes, and then it was plus the Shadow Fiend, which is banned, and the Tree, which is banned. And then for Mousesports, it was these 3 heroes plus the OD, which is banned, and the Ember. So we're actually going to get
all right, well,
4 out of the 5 same heroes.
And now what's the question? It's going to be what's 5th. Both teams are like, we've got exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Debated.
All right, well, there you go. Kind of interesting. Not,
seconds remaining.
I don't know, there's pretty good synergy. It's not like crazy synergy from the Mousesports lineup, I don't think. One thing that's very good is you have very long reach from Ember, so he can help catch up with this Legion if she blink duels someone. Ember can just remnant, and he has that extreme burst, so you can very quickly take duel wins. It's not the global presence of a Sunstrike, but at least it's kind of close.
Yeah, he's that pretty strong peak once that Veil.
And he works very well with the Keeper of the Light as well. Lower cooldowns and taking those down can be very helpful. Much like the whole Legion Commander Coddle thing, where you can just spam out these overwhelming odds, or you can spam out press the attack thanks to that cooldown reduction.
Well, we will see what IG want to do for their cores now after picking up the Centaur. It's the Invoker again for Paparazzi. Not the best first game. The game wasn't necessarily on his head. You know, it wasn't necessarily his fault that they lost, but it's interesting to keep in mind. Pick up the Invoker again.
I'll have to think about these lanes in terms of the heroes, and maybe that's what's really preventing this whole idea of maybe going Earth Spirit here. Because if they do for iG.Vitality, you can imagine the pressure is going to come from this Coddle and this Legion Commander, and I don't think Venge Warlock will be able to handle that too well themselves. They will have a rough time, probably get run over. Bane can easily handle down bottom against the Centaur Warrunner and just zone him out using like Nightmares and stuff like that. And with any, he'll need some sort of a decent core to help. He can't 1v1 him for sure, but he's still going to be obnoxious enough that it should allow Coddle and Legion Commander to kind of have that free roaming in the opposite off lane.
It'd be nice to have. All right.
The problem is, like, what do you even do against Legion Coddle? Like, you think about heroes that are good against Coddle, and that tends to be like people with these purges or something like that. Like, just like an Oracle or something, you can help purge your allies. Of course, that hero's awful. I mean, Shadow Word's good, but it's not going to zone out Keeper Legion.
No. You might be able to trade and just heal yourself up. I don't know, man. You asked the question, and I do not have the answer for you.
Oh, neither do I. It's tough. A Nyx. Okay. Interesting thought.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it?
He combos up well with the stun of Magic Missile, so that would have allowed them to have this tri-lane that's because he's a very good hero against Keeper of the Light, and they could have actually just used Magic Missile and then into the Impale, and that would have worked out fairly well. So maybe a similar style hero, someone that can really capitalize off the Magic Missile, someone a little bit more unique, like I don't know, those Leshrac style heroes or something like that.
So you're really keen on Venge being a core in this position?
I feel like it. I would be fine with them going back for a Jug or something. That would really help save their safe lane. Lifestealer is banned, so Ursa. Do they even have stun to lock down Ember to Ursa? Yeah, they could Ursa. That would save their safe lane.
Ursa. The Bear. Yeah, he's pretty good. In terms of 1v1 matchups, even better, but...
Yeah, and they have the Invoker too, so maybe they could think about doing that PA they've been doing with the Alacrity plus the minus armor bonus from the Wave of Terror. That might be enough with 3 heroes.
They have a lot of options here. Again, because they have this Vengeful Spirit, it keeps this draft very open-ended, and they have a lot of reserve time too. I have a feeling that one of those heroes that you mentioned is inevitably going to be the pick, because that's how it always works. They go back for the Earth Spirit, so it is the Dogfight's Earth Spirit. So that's very interesting.
So that gives them the catch for the Ember Spirit. So their mid game, I think, is a little bit better with this in terms of just trying to slow down that Ember and the tempo and the speed of that. And he does have decent reach to like stun up the Legion Commander like during a duel or something, and maybe that little bit of an oomph will be enough to stop someone from dying. But I do think that there is the possibility their safe lane just gets run over right now.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case. We know how strong Legion could be. And we still have to wait for the 5th pick from Mousesports right now. And it is going to be the Templar Assassin. So now they've got a decent amount of Roche control as well, getting that Desolator up pretty early on into the game. And having, yeah, wow. Yeah. I think you might have mentioned it in the first game. I'm not sure.
No, I mean, he's got he's got more signature heroes than I even imagined, actually, because, yeah. Got to add the TA to that list, man. This guy is a killer TA player. Very strong. And that'll just give us that safe lane Ember Spirit.
All right, well, again, Trent, I'm with you, especially with this draft now with the Dogfights Earth Spirit. Even if that lane gets run over with the Legion Commander capability, I think iG.Vitality have put themselves in a pretty good position with the Invoker picked up and what they could do with this Core Venge. But we'll see if Mousesports could take it too. I think it would be a bit of a surprise to everybody if they 2-0 iG.Vit right here.
Yeah, I'm favoring their draft, though.
Oh, yeah?
You're feeling pretty good about the Mousesports one lineup here. The Madara Ember Spirit. This guy is, he was one of the best and original people when it came to the whole split push idea of the Juggernaut. Like, they were so good at abusing spin TP when this team first was rising to prominence. And the way Madara could just push these lanes, I mean, you saw it last game on the Slark, too. He's doing the exact same thing, where he just finds these opportunities and he's able to punish teams so heavily, and that can have a game-deciding impact. You get that one Rax that always keeps pressure going in a lane, and that's nonstop information coming to your team. It's always just saying, hey, someone has to be down there to get this. If they're not down there, they're smoking. Like, they are coming for us right now. So if he could do that same kind of punishment here with the Ember Spirit and cutting these waves, it's so valuable for Mouz.
I was shocked, actually, by like him being able to find that set of racks. I guess it was kind of a mistake, iG.Vit walking all out at the same time, going for a tower push, not really being in the best position to TP, but they were there perfectly. And not only that, they had Spartan as well to go for like a hook if he needed to cancel a TP or something like that. So they were in a position to take it. But Mousesports did look very good in that first game. Again, if you guys just missed it, I recommend watching that first game as Spartan had a great time. Super and maybe next time going to go toe-to-toe. They'll spot each other out. Means that they probably know
there's a ward here.
Yeah, there's going to be a D
one of
ward
these
probably.
Two spots.
It's a huge...
we know that they're looking and thinking about where the center Warrunner is going to be because they know that they're going to be pressuring top with this Legion Commander. So I would say it's almost certain that the ward's here. I'd be very surprised if iG.Vitality don't de-ward. I'm kind of surprised. Do they not have any on them? Oh, there's one on Earth Spirit.
Yeah, he's very far away. He's top right now. He has the sentry, but he's not journeying down there yet. But again, that's the thing. Is like they're going to have this ward. They're going to get the vision of in July. They're going to know that he's down here. So
the other thing is Bane came back out holding both wards, which is really uncommon. He just passed one off now to the Coddle, but he was still holding on two of them. So maybe Warlock thought he hadn't placed yet.
Yeah.
But
and I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. It's a kind of a meta mind game type thing for Mousesports, potentially. We'll wait and see. I mean, they might still end up going for the sentry later on down the road. But Dogfights is still top, and it is going to be the Sakata Vengeful Spirit with the Earth Spirit nearby. And then, of course, the In July Centaur bottom. So now, as we talked about, the Kotal Legion Commander lane is going to be top. This is the classic. We've seen it played so very often recently, and it's very scary to deal with. Very scary. So we'll see. All right.
Yeah, earliest levels, not the scariest. Probably want to pressure as much as possible if you're Dogfights right now.
Meanwhile, Sakata takes like 25% HP, just gone.
Yeah, so does Dogfights, just from the sheer right clicks. So far, not exactly so good. But they did block off this camp.
The wave is sort of pushing into the tower because they illuminated the creep wave pretty well, so that's good anyway.
Yeah.
But, already 4 last hits coming up for Skylark. Overwhelming odds coming out. Man, Sakata's like, it's a good thing I have some regen, and I have to he has to salve already. Like,
I mean, they knew this was coming. Like, if we know, they know, but it's painful to watch. It is pretty brutal.
And instead of just like trying to have the Warlock help top lane, he's just bottom. He's like, I'll just do the best I can for July right now.
And that's the
Try to
thing.
stop
That is
Zara.
something they can do because Warlock isn't going to change this up top. He won't make any difference. He has no stun. He has no slow. So it's better to at least try and apply this pressure down the bottom lane. I can see the logic here. As well as we touched on this a little bit last game, but blocking out this camp is very important when you're in this situation as the Dire. So it can seem a little counterintuitive to block out your own camps, but it just means they can't pull this and farm it and keep control of the wave back here. And then this lane is 100% over. At least with the creeps coming under the tower, Sakata is getting the experience in last hits, but not too many of them. He's played 3-0.
Dogfight's going in hard, and then he just boulder smashes him out. So just kind of uses some mana. I don't know. I think he
might have been trying to get him through the trees to a stun, but might have got the wrong angle. It's kind of what it looked like.
He definitely wanted the rune too, and he does pick it up. So there's that. He is rotating. There is a Radiant Ward here, though, and so they'll see Dogfights perfectly. He does take up the other bounty rune. All right, 2 bounty runes in a row. It's all recovered then. Dogfights is good to go. I mean, it helps a little bit anyway. It's kind of a joke.
Yeah. At this point, it's like Sakata basically will just be camping under his tower, just praying the wave keeps reaching it here, and if they can get a little bit of control here from Skylark and Spartan, that's where it runs into some trouble. But he's just blasting these waves, man. He's doing a little bit of half damage to them. They're just pressuring in, and looks like they're just going to keep forcing this tower and trying to force these rotations back.
Oh, that courier is in a dangerous position. It's just going to stay there until 3 minutes. I think it might. They know Dogfights isn't up here. They're like, well, where could he be?
Yeah, they
probably
know
under
he's
our
camping.
tower. Good attempt. Man, he is going to rolling boulder, though, and Thug is going to get hit. The cold snap is up, but the snap doesn't actually hit until it's a little bit too late, and so now Thug turns on his refraction. There's a bit of auto attack damage to Dogfights, and then just says, I'll just get back to CSing then.
Almost got a couple hits on the paparazzi, too.
Sakata, ooh, the moment of courage proc coming out. Magic Missile's forced out. Overwhelming odds is there, but it is just level 1 Wave of Terror. Skylark needs to be a little bit careful. Illuminating out there as the Coddle is already backing himself away. Does not have any mana to work with. So Sakata stays alive again. He's, I think, out of regen. Absolutely is 100% out of regen. So good luck, Sakata. You're on your own, buddy.
Yeah, this is rough stuff. What's he flying out here? A salve. And that's it. Ouch.
It's not great.
He's gone for a 2-2 build, so this makes sense, right? You get a lot of value out of Vengeance when you have allies, but he's alone.
Sakata, man. I know you got a salve, and that's fine, but... Man,
he's getting sacked hard.
He has 8 less hits. I'm surprised. I feel like he would have less, but...
Yeah, mid lane. Thug. Oh, jeez, they're trading close.
Fairy Fire, nice. And the bottle charge will keep him alive. He'll bottle again. Thought about going for Paparazzi. Paparazzi's like, yes, I will take that regen rune. The Illuminate coming out. Oh, Spartan, are you kidding me? Oh my God, what an Illuminate. I don't even care if he dies here. He was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting it. I thought he was going to get it in time. I didn't think that Illuminate was going to do that much damage, but it clearly did. Oh my God. Oh, Brain Sap in July almost going down bottom as well. Unfortunately for moving next time, it is only level 1 Brain Sap. He's very close. Madara coming in. He's like, if you go Shrine, I will find you there. But that's not going to be the case. He's taking a lot of auto attack. They might dive super here. Thinking about
it's a relatively successful support rotation, I'd say.
Brain Sap coming out. South coming through. Madara, one more auto attack, and he'll stay alive. Sunstrike! Perfect. Paparazzi gets the revenge kill. All right, well. But still, though, yeah, you're right. Spartan's pretty happy. Uh-oh, overwhelming odds. Skylark chasing after Sakata. If you got a moment of courage there, it would be pretty nice, but it's not the case. Man. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just watching this Venge, like, so far in the tournament, we have seen heroes like Terrorblade and Slark become sacked in the lane like this because they catch up so quickly in the jungle with Iron Talon is down bottom. Another start up here.
I think they will not get in July, even with level 2 Brain Sap. The Shadow Word comes out. Bane uses all of his mana. He does have a clarity. Madara's doing pretty well, though. Like, I think they were just about winning all 3 lanes, especially with that kill onto Paparazzi. Him going down, kind of wasting some time.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, top lane, though. They might be able to get a return on the Skylark possibly here.
Boulder Smash.
Oh, the tower's not helping.
Sunstrike, press the attack, but Paparazzi will. That's the return kill they're looking for.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with diving. Man. Okay.
That helps a lot. That brings Sakata way up in terms of net worth. I mean, it doesn't look like that much. It's only, well, he only gets the 80 gold and the 200 went to the Invoker. That's actually probably the best case scenario, honestly, helping his Midas.
Yeah.
Just just let your Invoker try and carry you, but forcing out Skylark will, in return, give a little bit more money over to Cicadas. Unfortunately, he's not getting any of these last hits. He'll have to pull it way back. And all right, yeah, no, never mind. It's back to poverty time for this bench.
Yep.
Just get out of here.
Illuminated, Gates overwhelming added. No level 6 for Skylark yet. When he gets it, perhaps they can go even further and dive for a kill. What's his tier 1 tower looking like? Half HP? Yeah.
God, this is depressing, though. But this is what we're talking about. Like, we have these Terrorblades and Slarks that have this happen to them, and you're like, okay, well, he'll get Iron Talon, he'll jungle. It's very quick. Venge, it's not like that at all. This hero is the worst in this situation because she just becomes a support, and she can never catch up. Like, she needs to recover now.
Unless she gets these kills. Good dodge by Spartan, but he's still going to die, I think. So, like, that's... You're doing really well top lane, and then you just give away 2 quick kills to Cicada. And, like, that's one of the few ways he can get back into the game. Like, he's not that far behind the Centaur now, I guess. I don't know. It's probably not the end of the world for Mousesports, but still, you would like to keep him as poor as possible on this Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, they did get the tower, though, so what they want to do now is apply pressure on these other lanes to force the rotation of the Venge, and then she can't just sit up here and farm. If she can sit up here and farm, she can become a carry again. But if you pressure these other towers, she just has to TP and rotate, and she's just a support that has no last hits because she can't hit creeps. So they need to find that pressure in these other lanes right now.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Paparazzi, side trap will go through. They do have a DDM Thug, but he's not going to go for anything. Stomp. Oh, that's just him farming. They actually have vision of him, by the way. Man, he's so low. He's going to shrine up, though. Meantime, Madara doing very well, getting some good farm down bottom. Working on that Veil as to be expected. And we'll see Thug taking an Ancient. Any stacks? Looks like the answer to that question is no. Some good vision from the Dire to make sure they know if any stacks are happening. At least on the bottom Ancient stack. Ancient, yeah. All right. We'll slow it down a little bit, Trent.
Yeah, this is pretty good for iG.Vitality. As long as it just chills out for a moment so Scada can catch up. But Skylark's had enough of that. Just coming right back in that top lane. Just saying, like, all right, I'm going to keep this Venge out of here. Send her to the jungle. Put her into the slow mode. Scada has the right build for it, though. The max on the Wave of Terror can help you farm up a little bit here. Even using Magic Missile. That's the point you're at, dude. Your Magic Missile creeps, you know?
Well, he knows he's going to have to go back sooner, Shrine or something. Like,
I know, but it's still like...
Side trap Paparazzi, good sleep. That'll be up onto Dogfights. Now they're going to bring in Skylark as well. Good boulder smash to duels there into the rolling boulder. This is one of the most awkward things I've ever seen. Now Skylark, Sunstruck, auto attack. I can't believe he got that kill, but they will die for this Paparazzi slowed up. The Remnant comes in. Do they have detection? They don't need it. It's more than enough damage. And so, yes, he does get the kill on Skylark. He does buy his Midas before dying, too. So there is that, but again, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade there, Trent.
Yep, and it's that pressure in the mid lane. Venge has to show up, so as long as Madara gets out...
Uh-oh, good sleep. Nice. Well done.
No, that was very nice played.
Uh-oh, Stampede, swap out. Uh-oh, Mardara is still in trouble, but he gets the Remnant off in time. They can't find it. And Super, had he had level 6, maybe they could turn that fight around. Overwhelming odds from Skylark. He's thinking about going back in. Sunstrike. All right, I was very scared I was going to miss that, but he missed it anyway, so thank God. Jesus.
All right, well, so what's this mean now? Scada comes to the mid lane. He makes that rotation, throws out some spells. Can't get all the last hits. He's catching up pretty well, though. Like, he's at the same net worth as Madara because he's also making these rotations. So, despite all that pressure top, it did give the Legion quite a head start. But she's actually behind the Centaur Warrunner as well. And this 2k lead on Mouz looks like it's mostly focused near the supports down at the bottom of our chart here. About a 1100 difference between the Bane and the Warlock, and about 600 between the Caudal and the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have the Keeper of the Light. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. Being very efficient with his jungling, illuminating 2 camps at once, doing a very good job with it. Level 2 Illuminate, level 4 Chakra Magic. Meanwhile, bottom rune spot, Bane takes the haste out from everybody's noses. Madara might be in trouble. Stomp will come out, the Sunstrike, the Double Edge, and the Silence. Isn't going to be enough. And he just jumps away in time. They throw a lot out there. Almost goes down to the creeps, the Knolls. Oh my God, that last auto attack. Oh, he's living dangerously. Oh my God, Madara, get out of there. Jesus. Like an auto attack came from across the map, which I was not anticipating, and he almost died to it.
Well, now they're grouping up here. It's the Dire focusing down that bottom lane, and they're pinging top from Mouz.
Galaxy's getting close to that blank. In July rotates in, Shadow Word up. A tough hero to take down, very tanky himself. I'll drop a ward in the meantime for maybe next time, who's getting very close to that level 6. Madara might get caught bottom if he's not careful. Remnant is available. Magic Missile will come out. Sunstrike is there. Rolling Boulder, Golem. Jeez, they threw everything. And they cancel the TP too. And they're going to work on this tower. Very good gank there for iG.Vitality.
Yes, very worth it. Whenever you can drop the rock near a tower, even if it's just one kill, it's going to be just fine. And Dan, he's tanking all of it. He's taking the wave. So they use the glyph when the creeps aren't even here. And these days, glyph, the creeps are what do all the damage anyway. So totally fine. This tower is basically going down as fast as possible.
Yeah, they're going to get it. The road to recovery is there for Cicada. He is now higher net worth than the Ember Spirit. What happened to Madara this game, man? My God.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I definitely tunneled a little bit more on the Venge, but it's more so the Venge is just like finding those Latzes. She went to the jungle, she got them all, and when she's showing in lane, she's getting most of the last hits there, so they're just not quite able to find that pressure. They don't have 6 yet on maybe next time either, so they can't just like focus in with these Fiend's Grip ganks, whereas you're seeing this Warlock who just shows up with his ulti and just owns your like most important scaling core right now. So
man, these rolling boulder stuns are just owning him. Madara has died twice in a row.
And that's what we were saying nuts. About the mid game, right? Like this is what Earth Spirit is for. Just non-stop catching out the Ember Spirit.
Fiend's Grip, they have the Vision on in July. Jump in, they should have the duel ready, and they will use it off. Do they have the damage with Thug? They absolutely do. And obviously, Super does not have the Golem. Rotating in, maybe if he uses it, that goes a bit better. But they bring him down. They should have his ward up because he was behind the tree line. But they should be able to de-ward it. I think they pinged it a couple of times. I'm pretty sure Angel Eye did. He's like, there's definitely a ward here.
Things should get a little bit better for Mouz, though, I think, right now, because Madara is going to get that chance down bottom, because they're applying this pressure top. The Deso's almost done for TA. Then there's going to be this worry about Roche here for iG.Vitality, so they're going to put a lot of focus and a lot of stock in that area. That Invis Rune might be the death of Cicada.
Good Stampede. People gets canceled instantly as the Nightmare comes out, so it looks like they're doing okay. Paparazzi's coming in. There's the cold snap out of Thug. They actually get off the swap, too. Sunstrike's going to come in and bring him down. Nice play from iG.Vitality. Now they find the stomp. They found the double edge. Spartan will fall as well. And maybe next time, and Skylark, they just have to leave. They're fighting 4 versus 5. Very good initiation there from iG.Vitality.
And that's just trying to fight while the Golem is down, I think, from Mouz. And trying to apply that pressure, seeing it as a moment. But again, you're trying to create space for this Ember Spirit, so it can be difficult. You see this advantage because you have the Invis Rune, and unfortunately, this is kind of what happened at TI with Rezo when he was playing this Venge. Teams were just like ganking him, and he just wouldn't die because you get this Ogre Club early on, and you're so tanky. You have 1,360 HP. He's 11 armor.
Treads too.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, that's phase boots exactly. So like typically you even have more HP than this.
Yeah.
And that's Earth Spirit near Ember again.
Magic Missile, Remnant not able to dodge in time. There's the Boulder Smash. The Sunstrike will come out. Will it do enough damage? Not nearly enough, but it will be there with the last 2 auto attacks. The duel is up. Illuminate. They won't get the duel victory. Blinding Light is there. They might get Cicada regardless. Now the Fiend's Grip coming out as well. Super coming in. He does have that Golem back up. He's thinking about fighting, going back and forth, but he just watches dogfights die, and then he leaves. So it is a 2-for-1 trade. Again, though, they are shutting down Madara so hard.
They are, but it is the Ember. You know, I'd rather have my Ember shut down than my TA because now she does have the Deso, and the threat of Roche is real. So things evening up here quite a bit. You know, we were up 2K for Mouz. That dropped down. And that was 1K for iG.Vitality, and I believe we're now approaching somewhere a little bit closer probably as the farm is going to start escalating rather quickly here for Thug. But likewise for Paparazzi, he has the Aghanim Scepter finished. So once that courier's back home, he'll have it for himself. Some
big items coming up for these mid laners. But again, net worth advantage. It was Mousesports for a long while. It's only 1,000 for iG.Vit, even though Madara has been. And again, like you mentioned, you don't want to focus on one of these heroes too much, like the Venge or Madara, because of course, like we talked about, Paparazzi and Thug. But still, though, it is a slight advantage coming out for Mouz, or excuse me, for iG.Vitality. They're going to jump in. This is the stomp onto Thug. He's able to get out. That would have been a huge kill. Sentries drop down. And maybe next time we'll just kill both of these wards, as he was in the perfect position for it. So, pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what iG.Vitality want to do here. Now that they have the Golems back. For now, it looks like they're kind of chill just here on the Radiant. Skylark getting himself the Blink Dagger first this game, as he does have that help from TA and Ember. Not so necessary that he gets the Armlet early on, and here's that focus from the Dire. Like, they know, right? There's a TA trap inside, but they have the Sentry, so they can just get rid of that.
Yep.
Give him that 1 gold.
They need to either place another Sentry or wait for that Sentry to drop down, but very good. I mean, side trap's obviously very annoying. iG.Vit would never be able to get into Roche cleanly if those side traps are there. They will drop another one in anyways, even though the Sentry is still placed. But they have no vision inside the Roche, so they can't deal with it right now. Radiant scan over to the bottom lane. They want to make sure that Skylark is farming safely, and he is currently. At least for the moment, Cicada has picked up a DD. They were sort of rotating over there for a moment. Meanwhile, top lane, Madara is able to make it out. Magnetize goes. I think it does hit him, but he doesn't really care. It's a waste of cooldown, essentially, for dogfights. All right.
Yeah, they really can't think about Roche, though, on the Radiant until that Golem gets used. It's just too risky.
So what do you do to force it then? Do you try to take a fight, or do you...
I think you keep doing this slight pressure bottom with Skylar like he's doing, and he will get out because he's the blink dagger, so he's pretty maneuverable, and you wait for your TA to get her blink going. So she's very close. Once the blink's up, then they start pressuring top. Sunstrike just going to check.
Yeah.
And
they did deal with that sentry, by the way, that was here.
Yeah, if you can get this vision in here, that really helps you quite a bit as the Radiant trying to Roche. Smoke play from iG.Vitality, though.
Yeah, they're going again. Scottle's probably dead. See you later.
And the best thing about that is that's a pick without Golem.
And now they can pressure this tier 1 tower freely. No Illuminate, and that's the biggest thing when it comes to tower pushing. Having your creep wave explode and getting hit by an Illuminate is not fun. However, they might just head into the Roche pit anyways. This will give some time for Madara top lane to push into the tower, but they're trying to think twice about it. Do they want to go for Roche? Do they want to go for tier 1 tower? And they might end up going back for the tier 1 instead. The cliff will come out. iG.Vit is just going to take this quickly. So Link is now up though for Thug, as you had mentioned. He's going to have it momentarily as it's flying out right now.
Skylark's pressuring in bottom too. Needs to play this next wave though.
LTP top, it's going to be Paparazzi. Madara does some work on the tower, but
Skylar can't even afford to because he can't clear the wave and TP, so it's taking a really long time to take this tower down.
And it is flipped, and it looks like they're just going to deny it. Yeah. Siege creep coming in. There it is. In July times perfectly. Excellent work. Alright. At least gives them some more map control for Mouz, but they definitely
kind of lurking too. I think he wants Thug to rotate down in case someone stayed, but in July's actually just out of there.
He's gone.
Wants to get his headdress.
Well, alright then. We've slowed things down a bit. They did just kill the Coddle. He is respawned up. He's getting close to his Aghanim Scepter.
In July, actually, he had the full pipe queued up, but he switched into a medallion. So this is a cool little build. Not something we see too common on a Centaur Warrunner, but it will really help them Roche. So it's going to give them an option to take it even faster. Like, they already have the maxed out Wave of Terror. They have Invoker, Alacrity, and just Forest Spirits helping out there. But this is a pretty cool adjustment here from In July. There's a lot of value in solo crest this game to give to your cores to make sure TA is going to have a rough time. Or just put on people during duel.
Yeah, it's always nice to have. I'm sure he'll pick up the pipe later, especially against the Coddle and Madara. Axe is done for the Coddle swinging, which Madara has picked up boots of travel and everything. He's going to get jumped down, but he will jump out instead. Very close. Meanwhile, they might see Super, and boy, is he dead.
Oh, that's huge.
And they found the Nightmare on Cicada as well. The Feast Grip is going to be there. A dead Cicada, and that should be Roche because no Warlock home for 25 seconds. They want to keep going. They found dogfights. Madara is in. The Boulder Smash is there. The silence is up. But here comes Thug. Look at that auto attack damage, and it's a Skylark double kill. Whether they want to go for Roche or something else remains
the pings.
Man.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, it's time to go, guys.
I don't know. 5 seconds to Warlock. They don't have vision up here. That's what they really need. Someone to come and drop a ward right on this little cliff by the Ancients.
Do they have any?
Yeah, they have one on Spartan. Yeah, but he's Ags. Who needs wards?
He does. Oh, yeah, he's got... Oh, but it is nighttime. That sucks.
All right, now they need
Sunstrike coming out. They get off the Stomp Double Edge, and Spartan upheaval, but the Force Spirits will clean it up. Can they finish Roche fast enough is the question. The Tornado will come through. Not looking that great all of a sudden for Mouz coming in. Searing Chains are up. They don't have a Paparazzi. There's the Golem drop down. Skylark will fall. They have to leave, and iG.Vit will net themselves essentially a free Roche and more.
Ugh, the greed. That's what we were worried about, right? When they went for those kills, you're like, you might not be able to get Roche, and then the Warlock's coming back up. They don't have the vision on the high ground because of the nighttime. That's rough.
So let me ask then, if they kill the Warlock and the Venge and they go right into Roche then, is that enough for them? I
think that would have been the ideal play in my eyes. But then again, they don't know that when they're jumping up here, there could have been a Centaur or something, and maybe they kill him too, and then it's like even more worth it. Right. It just took so long to get that additional kill. The movement back to Roche was too late. Like, yeah, you can take Roche fast, but not like instantaneously.
Fair enough. So yeah, they'll lose that Roshan. They will lose out on a lot there. Sakata looking for a swap potentially. Some good vision though, placed up for the Radiant. They have an Observer War nearby. They'll take the tier 1. Dogfights rolls in. No vision for him. Rather for the Radiant to find it. It's not quite daytime. In fact, it won't be for a bit. The back line's in July, of course, nearby. Going to grab that bounty rune. Meanwhile, you have Madara just split pushing mid. Again, he has recovered. He's still a little bit behind Sakata, but he has Boots of Treble and Veil. He's getting recalled in the meantime. They want to try to fight, it looks like, but iG.Vit are just all heading out right now.
Paparazzi's almost into his bots too, so his moving around the map's gonna be quite good. He's got his Lincolns already, and then he'll get his mobility item, the secondary one post bots, something like a blink dagger or something here.
Wow.
And shout out to Sakata. I mean, he hasn't recovered to the full extent of something like a Juggernaut or someone would, right? Because you just don't have that same farm speed on this hero, but even 8k is pretty respectable. I mean, he's at the same level as the Ember Spirit. Although he's only died twice and Ember's gone down 4 times. That's just kind of, again, the nature of Ember Spirit. But this is one of her more powerful moments. You get this aura helping everyone out. You have the swap at level 2.
Very solid. It actually does so much work in terms of range, getting in and out, initiation. I think it's pretty good. Pretty nifty stuff. Also agility too. There's a lot of in the Dragonlance. But anyway.
Yeah, not as much these days though.
No, I mean.
I guess the Pike at least gives 20, so.
Yeah.
It's not too shabby. Yeah, how does that work, man? You just get 8 more agility out of that recipe? Thanks, man. Great recipe, honestly.
The recipe just somehow imbues you with more power than was actually there.
You know, when I first started playing Dota, I thought the recipe gave you the active. So I
did too, to be fair. And this is a long time ago, though.
I was playing Windrunner, and I bought a Shiva's Guard recipe at like minute 8 because I thought the 600 gold from the recipe would let me do the active that was written on it, and I was very disappointed.
At least you bought recipes. I only knew of Blades of Attack when I first started playing Dota as a kid. I was like, I'm Sniper, I need more damage, it's time to go 5 Blades of Attack, guys.
And on the recipe, it even has the hotkey when it's in your inventory. So like, you know how like certain items, if it doesn't have a hotkey, the hotkey doesn't show, right? But it had it labeled, so I just kept pressing it, and I was like, why isn't this working? So disappointed in myself, but fortunately no one on Mouz will be doing that, and neither will iG.Vitality. They actually know how the items work, which is great. We do have the finished Solar Crest, nice little cash infusion thanks to their pressure in onto the Roche, into these towers, and they're smoking up here with the Golem once again.
This is looking not that great potential for Mousesports. It is only about a 4,000 net worth advantage, but 1 or 2 lost fights can all of a sudden turn into some pretty big buildings for iG.Vitality. And they may very well find Cuddle again, as say Spartan. Pretty close up, it is not daytime. They'll see him. Maybe they do. They have the Wave of Terror. Good blinding light. Nightmare comes out of maybe next time. There's going to be the Stampede. Spartan's like, get me out, but the swap is going to be up. Sunstrike is there, and he is dead. No Sunstrike necessary. Slide of Fist Series Chase, but it's a little bit too late. Side Trap, do they want to go for this? Thug thought about it, but they'll just stay in the high ground instead. So now, the mid-tier 3 tower push is coming. At least they're just going to keep the wave pushed in. We'll see if they want to go for the tier 2 top as well, or bottom.
Yeah, I definitely want to poke and prod here. What do we have, really? I mean, we're still, again, rocking golems. They got to be careful. And the Magnetize plus the Fatal Bond's the other big one.
Magic Missile. Do they have the tower push? I guess they have the Invoker. Golem is still up and ready to go. Upheaval is there. Let it Fist coming up with the Searing Chains. Drops the Veil, but not really doing too much. Overwhelming odds. Good Tornado. You got the Meatball, the Sunstrike. Won't quite hit. Now Paparazzi getting jumped on. Is going to get Ghost Walked and forced away.
It was a nice use of the Blade Mail, too.
Yeah. A lot of damage done. Coddle is back, and that's going to be it. iG.Vit.
Now can they chase, though?
Yep, Blinding Light pushes them forward. That's not what they want. Everybody getting a little low for iG.Vit. In July there, kind of being the bodyguard for the rest of the team.
It's so hard to do this when they have the Golem. Like, the threat is, yes, they don't have Stampede, but if you just, you know, a little too deep, could be in trouble.
They're going to go for it anyways, man. They're going to go for it.
This
gem time.
So helpful from Caudle to make sure they know vision.
Jump in, slide of Fist Series Chase. They really want this kill. The Golem is going to get dropped. The Sunstrike is there. Thug will blow him up first, though. Now Sakata getting jumped down next. Thug pops the BKB. Great force staff down to the low ground, but here comes Madara. We'll bring him down with the Series Chains. Meanwhile, they've blown up the Golem. The overwhelming odds. Nobody did yet from Mousesports. They've got Paparazzi in the feed script, but he gets out just in time as the boulder smashes there. Now the rolling boulder away. Can they find this kill? Paparazzi. One more auto attack. The Lincoln Spirit will do the job, and they get the duel off as well. Mousesports with another immaculate fight. Oh, much like game number 1, they turn it right around, and they are going to go straight down mid here, Trent.
So much of that being helped up by Coddle. Like, there's all these problems to make that play in a lot of Dota 2 games because they just pressure in your base, and you know there's probably wards somewhere up here. You can't just go for this smoke and expect to catch him or anything like that. But you have this Agnum Scepter and this gem, and he knows. Spartan is 100% certain. They have no vision on us. They have no idea what we're doing right now. Like, smoke us up, let's go. And even despite jumping right on Super and him still getting off the ultimate and the Fatal Bonds, they're able to take that fight is kind of crazy, but that's the power of a 10-second BKB there.
Yeah, Thug they were not expecting that. He just jumps right in and he blows at least 2 up. And
Madara
wasted his time. Yeah, Madara being there. I mean, without Madara, they don't get that kill on the Vengeful Spirit, I would imagine. I mean, they would have to wait for another blink for the TA, but... And you mentioned it, though. It really just is a vision thing. Spartan having that daytime vision. It's so tough to fight. Vitality, they get caught with it. Nothing they could do. They'll lose 4 heroes. Again, the game still kind of hanging in the balance. What do you now if you're iG.Vitality? I mean, it wasn't like they needed to push there, but...
Next Roche. That's the story. That's their scoop.
You know, I'm just going to honestly not ask you that question anymore. Just talk about Roche every time I think about that question. Just be like, yeah, Roshan's up pretty soon. Maybe to wait for that.
He's something else, man. It's just teams are, I don't know, more patient, I guess, these days, or it's just... It's so important at this point in competitive Dota that you always want this Roche, and you just want to focus all your efforts around it. And that's just, it's what we see every game. So teams are they're pretty into that dude. And Paparazzi, he's gonna get himself a Shiva's guard here, getting the plate mail. And this is something that's becoming more and more common. Is every game I keep calling out these blinks for these invokers, but everyone's off blink. Yeah. No. They never do anymore. They're just relying on their team to set things up. I mean, when you have dogfights, you can probably do that, even though the Blink Dagger, him and In July can do quite a bit of work. So, Shiva's Guard also gives you at least an element of control that kind of helps in that sense, slowing people down.
It is something. You don't want to be that person that jumps in and initiates. Like you mentioned, because you have dogfights, you also have In July, so there's ways to find initiate. They're going to keep going, at least top for now. Meanwhile, Madara split pushing bottom. Should have a Remnant back somewhere over here, I would hope, but maybe do not.
Radiant's top tower is under
Mid,
attack.
I think. Yep, side traps. All right, well, they're not defending currently. Madara's just like, I'll just try to suppress that creature as well. Illuminate comes out. My God. That's a lot of damage. They'll still get the tower, though, but bottom lane, can Madara do the same? Tier 2 tower getting assaulted. Glyph has already been used. Paparazzi comes in with Tornado. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains. And Madara wants to finish this off. The veil is there, but Paparazzi's not been scared back. Even though maybe this time he's nearby.
He will deny it too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing though. Like, that's 1 hero versus 5 heroes, and they still trade towers. Like, yes, it's deny, but it's still pressure and presence on the map, and they have the Invis rune.
Oh, are they gonna go for it? They break the Lincoln Spear. They get off the Fiend Script. Searing Chains will come out. The double Remnant is up as well. Stampede is in it up. The Sleight of Fist is there. Boulder Smash not in time from dogfights. The silence will be. They get the recall back onto the Bane, and well, even with that silence, Madara is still able to blink out and TP home. And man, guess what? It's an early Roche respawn trend. I mean, it must have been instant. Wow.
That's actually crazy. How handy.
Madara's back. Madara's back.
Well, that's a little bit of the RNG of Dota 2, ladies and gentlemen, but it rolls in this, the favor of Mouz this time, so get that up onto Thug. He now has the 9-second BKB, almost into an MKB, and an Aegis to go on top. So next Roche will provide us cheese if we make it that far. Mouz, I'm sure, hoping that we don't. But it's not only the major of Midas's, ladies and gentlemen, it is the major of split push, and that's what Madara has just shown, though. Like, the amount of damage that creeps through the towers is absurd at this point. It was like a 20% increase or something like that. So this one dude over here who just brings in 2 creep waves is pushing at the same speed as 5 heroes. Okay, it's not the same speed, you know, that's a little bit of a little bit intense, but it's pretty damn close. He ends up with the same result in this case. So putting this pressure on this bottom lane, you always have to be concerned about that. And this Ember Spirit's just going to dance around these trees and pressure your tier 3s.
I'm right now, Skylar, but yeah, he's going to go for the duel too. The TP coming in. Oh, that creep was so low, but it's not going to matter. They will get the skill. Searing Chains coming out. They get the duel victory for Skylark. They're all rotating over. Madara's getting recalled. Sleight of Fist, Stomp. It's in time. Double-edged Sunstrike. They were not there. Now they drop the golem too. Madara's still in trouble. Remnant out. Can't quite get there. This Boulder Smash is up and ready. And they do secure that kill. But top lane, they're going to try to go for this push. Now everybody needs to get back here if you are iG.Vit.
I wonder if they noticed the TPs.
They don't have the TP for Paparazzi.
Only the supports. Do they not know? Do they know Centaur doesn't have a TP? They're gonna know now because he walks over a trap.
Yeah, they bought back on the Ember Spirit too. He knows it's time to go. Dogfights is about to go down. One more auto attack. Good Shrine in time. Good Boulder Smash, but Thug jumps right in, gets the kill. Tornado is there. Sleight of fist, searing chains can be up. Paparazzi drops the ice wall. BKB, Thug wants to finish this off, and he wants to finish it now. Super getting pushed back.
Great
They've
control.
already used the golem. He's dead. He doesn't buy back. Now they get the chains off. The Phage grip is there. The duel is up. The Illuminate. See you later. Skylark is getting low. The disarm is up at least on the TA. They do, again, have buyback on Super, but Paparazzi getting jumped on now. Manalik, good swap. Remnant in. It's too quickly, and they will just try to go back into that Raxi top lane, and it looks like they will be able to get it. My God, what a great call from Mouz. Good heads-up play to know that the TPs were not available. Sunstrike. No. Meanwhile, Doug going right into Sakata. He's dead. Again, he is buyback, but they will lose at least one set of racks, maybe the tier 3 as well.
Well, how did that start, ladies and gentlemen? Split push.
Man.
Fantastic map movement by Mouz.
Man, to buy back there, they must have known.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the power of these TA traps, too. They're seeing people coming through. The Centaur just having no TP. Also knowing that Invoker had just TP'd down there to try and help, so he was delayed by quite a bit to return. So the tier 3 was already guaranteed. And then as they filter in one by one, the quick pick onto the Earth Spirit. Just very...
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Mousesports inching themselves closer to keeping themselves alive here in the group stages. iG.Vit with maybe one or two more botch fights, and they'll be one of the last seeds in the playoffs. One of the lowest seeds, I should say. The MKB's
10K. That is quite the lead when you're just down 5 moments ago.
It's nuts. Like,
and they still have ages.
Uh-oh. See you later, Card. But Thug is here, actually. They get the blinding light off. BKB goes. Paparazzi getting turned on. Thug doesn't have too much control. The MKB hits are coming out. Dogfights does get the kill on Spartan in the end. Wants that gem. Now, here comes Madara. Swap out. Sakata getting caught. Stomp up for July. Double edge there. Can they break Thug down? He's low. The Aegis is gone, but the duel is up on the opposite side. Skylark was stunned there for a moment, but still should get this kill onto Super. He doesn't have buyback. Dead for 46 seconds. Lincoln Sphere broken for Paparazzi. Stuck in the creep wave. Side trap will go. The Remnant is further. And he's going to get the Shiva's guard off, but Thug still going to work the overwhelming odds. He's down for 70 with no buyback.
That MKB right through the solar crest.
Yeah.
Great grab by Thug. 4,100 gold. He is rich.
And
3 of the top 4 heroes, Radiant.
He recalled Madara just to shrine up, and then they're just going to go right back into work on this tier 3 tower.
And how about that initial recall on Thug, too? Knows that he's being gone on and in trouble, so, of course, hitting the Caudal doesn't really do anything. No. You can still bring the hero in.
Thug's like, I'm ready. I can fight him. Veil's up, Blinding Light is there. Mana Leak on in July. He's got a lot of mana, actually, so he's Light is coming in. And now the Glyph is gone. Paparazzi still dead for 35 seconds. It will be a 4 versus 5 fight. Refraction just in time for Thug. The Nightmare save comes out. The Golem is dropped down. The Stampede is there as well. It's kind of trying to man fight on Madara. Thug, meanwhile, takes the Baylor Racks, and Madara is just going to sit by and say, you can just have this. And, he will do just that. Thug will take both top and middle racks. And Mousesports, very close. Finishing off the 2-0 series against iG.Vitality.
Extremely impressive stuff, honestly.
Still going. They are still going. Paparazzi is back up. Jump in, dogfight. So jump with the Thug. Press the attack is there. Man, that press the attack just in time. That Sunstrike would have done some work. Tornado looking for Madara, but he also blinks out after jumping away with the Remnant. Sleight of Fist coming out. Sakata walking a little too far up, but again, that Sleight of Fist change does not connect. IG are defending for their lives right now. But Mousesports probably get back up.
I want to highlight some of the stuff that we talked about that was going to happen this game, because it's exactly what we said would go down. Like, this Vengeful Spirit, it's... they almost had that moment where, like, she was really strong at level 13 and stuff, and yeah, she was kind of poor as a support, but if you want her to become this, like, late-game core, this is where she needs that babysitting and stuff, because we also said, like, she's not a Manta hero. She's not someone that builds in this item very easily. She doesn't really want to build it, and she's still not at it, so she's having a very difficult time with this blind that's coming out from the Keeper of the Light. She wasn't able to farm up into, like, a Maelstrom or something to increase her farming speed. So she's just permanently stuck at this tier. And this is what happens when you have Core Venge that doesn't get a crazy good start thanks to a lot of support help. She's the same level as a Caudal right now, or same gold.
It's not a great game for Blinding Light. In July actually misses the stomp because of it. Now the Thieves Grip will come out, Thug going to the low ground and just throwing bombs. The duel's out by the Paparazzi. He will fall. Another 70-second death timer as well. Because of that, the tier 3 now getting assaulted, and I'd say GG is coming soon, and it does. iG.Vit, GG out. And that's going to be that. Mousesports will take the 2-0 victory here against iG.Vit in, I would say, somewhat convincing fashion, friend. Very good team fights for Mousesports. Really well played overall.
Yeah, it was the team fights and the split push that really overshadowed everything. The laning stage, I guess, you know, they won it, but then that, like, right after the laning stage, that little segment, things got a bit dicey. There were some really good plays from iG.Vitality, good smokes, and use of the Golem to get a lot of picks onto the Ember Spirit with the help of Warlock as well as the Earth Spirit.